assessing ornamental fish farming versus food fish farming. Which of the two is more, profitable in Jamaica? Let's check it out. Okay, so ornamental fish farming is a venture that has been in existence throughout Jamaica amongst individuals like me who are enthusiastic about the hobby for years, right? I have been so, what I call it now, in tune with the ornamental fish farming side of the whole episode of ornamental fish keeping and fish care for the past 5 years wholeheartedly, right? What I found is that the ornamental fish farming networking farming side of, everything in Jamaica, um it's like it don't make no sense. Why it doesn't make any sense? Because you will actually invest a lot of monies breeding a lot of fish, and your returns are so minimal that your costs overrun your income, and if you're not wise, you'll end up either in bankruptcy, or you end up in financial doom, doomsday, right? Ornamental fish keeping in Jamaica, it exists, uh, but the extent in which the fish is actually being, from the farmers to the pet shop, from the pet shop to the clients or the customer, is actually moving along that way. What you find is that it's the pace is so slow that it will it's best to regard it as a seasonal venture. For example, goldfish should actually breed at a particular time of the year. Live bearers breed all around the year. Some fish just breed certain time of the year. Well, as far as benefits for ornamental fish keeping, individual like myself, it's like a timely thing. It doesn't come every day. So being on YouTube, being on social media, sharing my experience, that's the best way to actually, you know, share your ideas, share your skills, market your stuff, and actually get some money in while you're doing, right? Now, in comparative to food fish farming, food fish farming, I started food fish farming roughly about 2 years ago. When I went by a nearby fish farm, and I went around looking in the drain, and I saw some baby fish. I collected some, and it all blossomed from there. The food fish that I have been keeping, right, is that of red Nile tilapia. Well, it's not really fully 100% red Nile tilapia. It's a mix, but I just say red tilapia, right? Um, Cichlid, and I keep them, I breed them, and I consume them for my personal self. Food fish farming in Jamaica is more lucrative than ornamental fish farming in Jamaica. Why I say that? Persons will always want food fish to practically consume as food. So you'll have more the volume of fish that you will probably be able to dispose of on a timely basis, like probably every month or fortnight or 2 months, is much greater than that of ornamental fish that you actually manage to breed and care for. Mark you, uh, some ornamental fish will take like up to a year, if not 2 years, to actually reach that size in which you need, so as to trade them to get a profitable return. In the meantime, you still have your water bill, your light bill, plus you have to be giving them medication, and you have to be feeding them, right? food fish is a total different scenario. Food fish, if kept properly from the start, you don't have to buy no medication, right? And you only keep them for 6 months. I mean, like fries. After fries, I've actually started to, grow. Once you feed them properly, what you realize is that within 6 months they are out of your remit. They're out of your space. They're being sold or being eaten by your family or persons in whom you sell them to, because food fish do sell. Now, there's a lot of drawback to food fish, tilapia, where a lot of persons are of the opinion that, food fish is, that is tilapia, that is, right, is actually given hormones, and the hormones impact their their health, especially men. They say that the hormone affect their sterility, and there are a lot of, claims and counterclaims regarding all that. I've actually been consuming food fish for a very long time, food fish tilapia for a very long time. Whilst it's not one of those type of protein source that is like the go-to for me, but I found that it has been palatable, and it has been healthy. I have not gotten any um, health issues as a result of that. And in comparative to other meat source that exists, for example beef and you know dairy, milk, and not really meat, but dairy and beef and mutton, and you know chicken, which we all know some amount of you know what I call it, I don't want to say it, but I have to say hormones, medicine, whatever you think, whatever you call it, right, are actually fed um, within the actually placed within the feed for these animals, creatures, whatever you call them, right? And in turn, you will actually consume them. As a matter of fact, persons actually consume chicken liver, cow liver, goat liver, all those, and that's like the storehouse for the waste for all of the fish. So therefore, if you're feeding these animals hormone, or what you find is that the hormone will more than likely be centralized within the kidney and the liver, right? And that is not so with fish, right? Because when you're actually sorting out the fish, you scale it, you gut it, you take out everything, so you only have the bone and the muscles, the meat part left, right? um Food fish is more profitable in the sense that I can actually, if I'm serious, I can put several broodstock of tilapia together. I can get some babies, and I can probably get like probably about nearly 100 babies every day, right? And I can sell each. Well, I can sell them by the dozen, right? And I can sell them by the dozen between 500 and 1,000. It depends, right? Because remember, it's not like those that have been monosexed, in the sense that they are one sex, so therefore you can't breed them. You have to come back each time. Mine is more than likely able to breed, so those are a little bit more expensive, right? So when you look at it that way, right, I can actually gain more money, but it's just that there's a lot of problems actually going full time into food fish cultivation. One problem is that space, right? Unlike ornamental fish that you will have, like for example, you have some tetra and some goldfish, and well, goldfish is a bad example, right? You have some neons, or some live bearers, or even some angelfish, right? They practically take up a small percentage of the water space in which you keep them in. Unlike food fish can go up to 16, 17 inches in length, and it, it, it's 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 a lot of space, right? And you have to be thinking about getting maximum weight per fish so as to make monies. So you're gonna have to have a lot of space. In having a lot of space, you're gonna have to actually install new equipment, ensure you have security, you know, a lot of things that is needed in food fish cultivation is just not really there for me. I would stick to just being a hobbyist in ornamental fish keeping, and I say a hobbyist in food fish cultivation, consuming for myself, not for sale. But you can actually gain more money from food fish cultivation in comparison to the thing is that ornamental fish keeping requires a smaller space than and that is ornamental fish keeping if you specialize in a particular area, and that is one of the problems in Jamaica as far as fish keeping and fish care is concerned. You have several persons in the ornamental fish keeping trade business, and they are venturing into too much fish species at one time, and they are unable to manage the demands for each. For example, I used to have a lot of species of fish. I've actually cut back some, I've sold some, I've given away some, and I'm now into the limelight of embuma cichlids, right? Food fish, if I'm going into food fish, it would have to be tilapia, right? And it would have to encompass a large space where in which I can actually make my money on each sale in which I actually get, right? It's a little bit more ticklish in planning food fish, because you're gonna have to contemplate market, because you don't want the fish to actually build up on you. You don't have any way to dispose of them, meaning that you don't have any clients, right? And consistency in production is also needed. So you don't want to develop a market, you don't want to actually grow your market, and at the height of your market demand, you realize that you cannot really fulfill the demands. As a result of that, you find that the market gradually dings away, and persons just don't trust you anymore to be a supplier for that particular fish species, right? So you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to also look at a feasibility study as to the extent in which you're gonna extend your food fish cultivation system, right? Is it that you're gonna design your system around a medium, large, or a small setup, one which just involve family, or are you going to be able to employ persons to actually assist you within that space? One of the things that I really hurt my heart is that food fish farmers in Jamaica, while they do get assistance from RADA is a rural agricultural development authority. It's an authority set up by the government to assist farmers to actually establish themselves, deal with problems, guide them along the way, especially those persons who are novices in it. But one thing I do not like is that it doesn't give you the opportunity to start up that costing, right? If a system could be in place where in which persons could actually, they're really genuinely interested in fish farming, food fish farming, or even ornamental fish farming, they will actually get some monies from whichever ministry to actually start, right? And doing the ongoing processing, getting some monies, you're actually able to pay back some of that monies in incremental format. I don't mean you're gonna actually give the farmers money free and not expecting any return. And I don't mean that you're actually gonna give the farmers money and actually claim it as yours. I mean, like, it's just like a loan. Well, whilst I'm not really privy to the intimate details as to whether or not that do occur, but on a wide scale it doesn't occur, right? And small farmers like myself, persons in whom I know, they are unaware as to what they should do so as to get started. I mean, I've had persons calling me, texting me, sending me messages, asking me for rootstock in tilapia fries, and I don't have any to give, right? Because another problem is that you actually get your you actually get your fries, your fingerlings from a place like Rada. And when you get your fries from a place like Rada, you find that you cannot actually breed any of those fish. All those fish are males. So you'll always continue to be a slave to, when I say a slave, I mean you always have to return back. Return, you can't use return back in English language. You always have to return to Rada to purchase fingerlings periodically, because you can't really deal with that yourself, because all of what you have are males. It's an open discussion. It's an open discussion. To me, I believe that food fish have a greater market share than ornamental fish keeping. I believe that ornamental fish keeping do have a place. However, the market, as far as the demand is concerned for ornamental fish, is not there like food fish. So being that you would like to do something in fishing, whether it be ornamental fishing or food fishing, you have to contemplate how long you're able to wait on your returns, how much you're going to be investing in, and what is it that you really want, as far as what is it that you're looking for. I know that this is a lengthy video, but this is it just dawned on me that I need to speak about it, because I know that I'm going to be getting texts and calls um, further down the line with regards to several of my shares on tilapia, right? My tilapia stock are not for sale to the public. If I do that, I'll be unable to supply the demands, right? But that's an argument for another day, right? Thank you very much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Cool.